My name's Patrick Powell. I'm the chef at the Midland Grand dining room. We opened about 7 months ago after the second lockdown. It didn't reopen. It was a Marcus Wareing restaurant called the Gilbert Scott, which traded for about 10 years, quite successfully. And the space sat dormant for about 2 years then. It was meant to happen sooner, but obviously COVID got in the way. It had quite a major refurb. A designer called Hugo Toro done the fit out, so we pretty much stripped the room aside from what you can't touch in there. Started all over again with both the Gothic bar and the Midland Grand. Hugo also done the booking office, which is the hotel, restaurant and bar over the other side of the hotel. So with the suite, we wanted to get as much firepower as possible into it, and I think that's something that came. Well, I think the relationship with Steve helps a lot with that. It helped a lot in the Stove We Have Allegra as well, where there was things I didn't want that he advised us to put in it, and he was right for what he did. So we kind of, it's a long suite. It's a galley style kitchen, so it's quite different from Allegra, where everyone works around the stove. This is more like an old school cooking line. If we're starting at the bottom of the stove, we have our sauce section there. So it's quite a big restaurant. We've got a bar, we've got a chef's table, private dining room. We've a terrace that opens up in the summer. So we've got a lot of seats. So a lot of food needs to come out of this stove. Plus it needs to be a stove that operates all day. Well, we open all day from 12 in some capacity. And eventually we'll get open for breakfast as well. So it needs to be a strong piece of kit that can go all day. On the sauce section, we have a gas grill, which is not something I would have been too keen on, but given the nature of this building, we can't have coal or wood burning in it. We've kind of figured it out, and it works quite well for us now. We weren't too sure about it at first, but it's found its home. Next to it, we have a large plancher. Below that, we have 3 hot holding drawers, and that sits alongside the Rational oven. So you're on the sauce section, you have a lot of cooking power for grilling meat, holding meat, cooking meat on the plancher. That all works very well. And then next to it, then we have our fish section. So that just works off half a plancher, 2 inductions, and we have a deck oven as well. Salamander above it. And then at the end, we have 2 more inductions, a double fryer, and another half plancher for garnish and sides. There's a lot of firepower. So generally in the morning, it's filled with pots of sauces reducing and whatever's been cooked in the morning, whatever mise en place has been done, then we strip it completely and set it up for service, and then it kind of stays in service mode all day then. In the morning, we'll have our sauces or whatever on them reducing, then we turn them down and get them ready for service, then we cook directly on them during service. We do a lot of cooking on planchers. I think it's the most consistent way of cooking, is cooking on an Attener plancher. It's just always the same. It's always good. I've worked with them before in there's a restaurant called Wild Honey, that's used to be in Mayfair, now moved to St. James's, Anthony Meaty restaurant. He had Attener suites on all those restaurants at the time. And that one there, when I started working there, was 7 or 8 years old, and it was perfect. There wasn't like nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I was telling Steve the story when like the spring went on the deck oven. Bob came, I think I was like the last one in the kitchen that night. He came in with an oven door, put it on, took the other one away. I remember helping him carry it up the stairs, and I was like, wow, that's brilliant. But I was just like, it was broken, and then the next day we had a new oven door. And it was a little bit different here. I guess Allegra was pre-COVID, everyone was a little bit too excited. And, you know, budgets were a lot tighter this time around. But we needed a new suite. What was here was a Bonnet suite that, when it went in, was already a 10-year-old model. So we had multiple people come out and look at it and try and do something with it, but they're like, you can't get these parts anymore. It will just hemorrhage your money, so we had to get a new suite. So we ended up with this suite here, and we had to kind of, this kitchen's quite funny. It's like a Frankenstein monster of a kitchen, where we have this beautiful stove, but then we have like ovens that are 15 years old. So it kind of works, so we'll keep them going and put what we can into the stoves. We have an amazing piece of kit.